I began my video, and as I generally do, I got sidetracked. Now I want to talk about all the horses that we have going on. I just did the math for one of our clients, and I said, Ontario, the horses will be ready to qualify over the next 2 weeks. But I can tell you unequivocally, if all trajectory from today, what I saw here in Ohio, 30 horses will be qualified within 15 days here in Ohio, and they're all ready to pretty well go. We have some horses that are going to be heading to the field for the summer. We're going to talk about them. I have 6 on the list. Well, Green Tea, the gentleman that owns Green Tea, Dr. Rucker, has decided he wants to turn Green Tea out for a few weeks. So that's his decision. Obviously, when it comes to us, I have 5 on that list. You know, the Easy and the Turns, International Spy. We'll talk about that list. We have 4 horses that are injured, different variations of injuries. So from what I can see, the only horse on this list of 4 that was injured on the track is No Chance in Hill. The other 3, 2 of them were in the stall, and one of them, Goldbug. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to talk about all the lists, how the horses went today. I'm going to talk about that here. I'm going to talk about briefly how they went in Ontario. I got a quick synopsis from either Danny or Amy about how they went. Ready for Landing had run on James, which wasn't that shocking. I'm going to school him Friday at Mohawk. From what I can see, I'm going to take 5 horses down to Mohawk on school on Friday. I know Mohawk was saying, well, we might have schoolers on Tuesday and qualifiers on Tuesday for the babies coming up. I said, you know what? I know they qualify on Friday and Saturday, so I'm going to take 5 down to school unless they tell me we can't, which they may do. But for right now, we have 5 qualifying here tomorrow. We have 5 schooling in Ontario this week. We have another schooler here. I'm going to school the little white-faced guy, Blanton's Blue. He needs some gate work. He was terrified of the gate the other day, so we're going to run him up in behind the schoolers tomorrow. And anyway, I'm going to get right to it. So the injured horses are Cowboy by the Sea. This is just a heartbreaking story. I don't want to dwell on it or talk about it too much. When horses get hurt in their stall, it breaks my heart because you're left feeling much like if your kid got hurt playing in the backyard or something like that. You say to yourself, well, I could have done this and I could have done that, when really you know there's nothing you could do. It happens. It's an accident, and accidents happen, and it's extremely, extremely hard for me to quantify and take. But at the end of the day, every day is a new day for us at the barn, and for the horses that are injured, we do our best to get them to heal and get them back on track, and that's all we can do. So Cowboy by the Sea is injured. Lover's Play was injured also. I don't really have a lot of update on her injury. It didn't appear to be even remotely as serious as Cowboy by the Sea, but she had a laceration on the inside and outside of her right hind pastern, and I think they just had to heal it up, seal it up. So I don't have more information about her just yet. Goldbug Hanover was entrapped, and she had an issue with her palate. Like I said to the vets, 2 things. Here's my 2 takeaways from Goldbug. Unless she is and can be and will reach her full capacity as a racehorse, her full ability as a racehorse, I have no interest in racing her. 2, she's worth infinitely more as a broodmare than we paid for her. So at this point, it doesn't matter. It's banked money. So either she races to the best of her ability and the top of her ability at some point, or we let her grow up and we breed her next year. That's it. Those are the 2 things. So although she is on the injured list, it's not really an injury. It is, I suppose, an airway injury, but and there's nothing saying she can't make it back. But right now, between the ulceration, the swelling, and just the sheer size of the epiglottis and what's in there, they can't really tell. So Dr. Cote is actually coming to do scopes this week on the horses, and I'm sure she can have another closer look at Goldbug Hanover. Okay. And then the last one on injured list is the only one that got injured on the track, and that was No Chance in Hill. Very slight. You couldn't tell today. I had him out on the floor, grabbing that leg, flinching it. I think that injury's been there a long time. I don't think it was new at all. He'd always grabbed the left line. He never showed any discomfort left hind. And if he did, with him being such a big horse, you would think stifle. You definitely would not think, oh, that horse might tear a left hind suspensory. It's a minor tear, and the guys have done a great job with it, taking care of it. Jen and Antoine, everybody on that side, Jason, Merriman, because I had the bandage off from Kay, and I grabbed where that suspensory is, and he didn't flinch, and I rubbed it. You would not know it was there if I didn't have proof it was. So I suspect that has been lingering there in one form or another, in one size or another, for quite a while. That would be my guess when it comes to that particular injury. So that's actually uplifting. That leads me to believe that he will make it back at some point. How do we get that tiny little 10% or less tear to zero? How do we close that up? I don't know. We do have that aqua treadmill now, so we can keep him in shape. I was happy with what I saw today from No Chance in Hell. So great job by our barn getting them back together. Not bad. We have 4 injuries so far to talk about. Only one of them at a 60 was on the track. We do have some, I guess that's unfair. We do have some horses that had injured their knees a little bit. That won't be ready until after July, but they'll be ready. Field Bound, did not know her knees are just open and bothering her. We'd injected her, and then I come back and bothered her again about 3 weeks later. So I had spoke to the Schaefer family and just said, hey, best thing being just to turn her out. Just give her some time. So that's what we're going to do. Did not know is going to the field. Is easy in the turns, is in the field right now. And will remain there until the better part of July. Electric Line is heading out to the field also. We're going to give this guy some time off. And just to let you know, I'm not concerned about his ability. If he had no ability, he wouldn't be staying. I like this horse, and in fact, one of the owners of Electric Line had traded me for shares of the yearling we had just bought. So I own a fairly substantial portion of Electric Line right now. That's so, for those of you saying, ugh, turn him out in the field, just get rid of him. I actually am one of your partners now, a fairly substantial one on Electric Line. So we'll turn him out and let him grow up. Green Tea, as I said, is going down to Kentucky. And actually, I'm pretty sure, looking at the entire situation, we probably won't be trading Green Tea when he comes back. And no hard feelings at all, just the way it's going to work out. So good luck to Green Tea and Dr. Rucker for the remainder of 2023, or forever, for that matter. International Spy is out. We probably won't even bring this guy back in until August 1st or so. Going to give him all the time in the world. He wasn't injured, but on his way to becoming injured. And I think the time off out in the field will allow him to mature, fill out, cool down. And then we'll bring him back in. And then 3rd and 6th, same thing. Just didn't look good. Right? Didn't look like an athlete. So I guess that it kind of makes you ask me, well, if he doesn't look like an athlete now, why are we keeping him? It's a great question. There was times when I felt he had some ability. And I think the money we put into him from here to when we decide to sell him, if we do, that timeline, that can be recouped. I think what he's worth today, add everything that we're going to put into him before we could potentially say that's enough, we're not going to keep him, I think we could recoup the middle. So I don't think we're going to be out any. I think that's fair. It's the fairest way to put it. So there's the field horses, and then the horses ready after July. AC Swan, Alibaba, for no particular reason other than they don't have to be ready until after July. Alibaba must be horsing. I believe I heard a little urination story today. Poor Johnny McKinnon got a little golden shower today. I shouldn't talk. I got one from Southwind Digit. She was in heat, I guess, and trained, and it happens. So AC Swan, Alibaba, ready late. Hallie in the Clouds. I trained her the other day. I was happy, but I can't help but thinking she's still on that precipice. Is she going to push forward, or is she going to regress a little bit? Very nice filly. And I'm going to tell you right now, if she even comes closer to that line, I'm just going to stop with her and turn her out in the field. I think she's going to be a good horse. She trained down too well. She looks like too nice a horse not to be. The tools are there, and she doesn't have a bad attitude. She's just a big, giant filly. So she is going to dictate what happens for the remainder of 2023 each time she goes on the track. Every day will be a new day that she trains. She trains bad on Wednesday. Thursday, you might find her in the field. So every single day will be like a case-by-case, day-by-day basis. Every training day I'll let you know, hey, is Hallie moving forward or is she regressing a little bit? And honestly, I don't care either way. I'm not racing her unless she is at her best. And I know we can get her there. It may just take more than 2023. I guess that's where I'm at with Hallie. Oh, snap you, her knees. She come up sore on her knees. No big deal. No fractures, no lines, but there will be if we push on. So as I said, the same thing we're going to do. 3 weeks in the stall just to let those joints cool down. And then she's going to go in the aqua treadmill. We'll see. We'll see how. I've never used one before, so we'll see how it works training horseback. Pretty cool rig, I can tell you that. They go in this standing stall, and there's a treadmill in there, and you can put the water right up to their shoulders, almost where they're almost swimming. In this treadmill, and it's really, really cool. It's obviously resistance jogging training, but it's a pretty interesting apparatus nonetheless. Oh, snap you will see her in the summer of 2023 at some point. Just want to make sure she's ready to go when we ask her to. Punch the clock. for obvious reasons, she won't be ready until after July. She could be if we wanted her to, but that month she missed, or 6 weeks she missed. We're going to find that somewhere and put it into her. And widespread panic just because I think immature, but man, he looked good the other day at Grand River. Great job by Mario, and I thought the horse looked very, very good. But I am still going to predict he won't be ready until after July. So not a bad list, really. We have 4 injuries. Only one of them came on the track. That is going to set these horses back. And actually, if I wanted to be super optimistic, I could drop No Chance in Hill into the ready at some point after July list, even though I'm not going to, because we're going to give him all the time in the world. But that looked good today. That leg looks very, very, very good, to the point where I don't think that injury was new. I just think that maybe a 2% tear, 3, 6. It grew a little bit until he was sore after that hard training mile at the open house. His leg blew up a little more because there's a few more fibers of that suspensory let go. It blew up and he was sore. He's not sore today. Leg is cooled out. I ran my hand down it, and if I did not know exactly where that tear was, I would not know it was there. So No Chance in Hill, again, on the injured list. But field bound, we only have 6, and one of them doesn't really need to go to the field, in my opinion. He's going to the field, Green Tea. So we have 4, 6 is 10, and we have 16 that'll be ready after July. Pretty good list. To be honest, I thought when I started making this list, I thought I had some conversation with people the other day about horses that get injured, right? But like easy in the turns, just there was no acute lameness. She just had to go to the field, right? International Spy. Read the writing on the wall. I say it all the time. When the horses talk, you better listen. And that's where most of these field-bound horses have come from. So not bad in that regard. Now let's get to the list from today. I can tell you, I'll start with the Ontario horses. They didn't do a whole lot, obviously. Very slow miles today. I was told Insider Trading was good and then shied from a whip and made a break. I'll tell you this. I plan on taking 5 horses to school in Mohawk on Friday. Insider Trading is 1. Ready for a Landing is 2. Flash Fly is 3. Lonely Lakewood is 4. Who is the 5th horse? Who is number 5? I don't see number 5 on here. I'm sure I said 5. Insider Trading is 1. Ready for Landing 2. Flash Fly 3. Oh, maybe there's 4. I thought there was 5. 4. I'm wrong. I only have 4. 4 horses that will be going to, let me just check the scratch list here to see if I didn't make a mistake. Nope. There's 4 horses. I'm wrong. 4 horses that will be going to Mohawk to school on Friday. I'll give you them again. Insider Trading. Flash Fly is number 2. Lonely Lakewood is number 3. And number 4 is Ready for Landing. So, how'd they do today? The only bad reports I got, Ready for Landing made a break on James. Not shocking. Multiple breaks is actually what was said to me. Who else? We have some horses that are going to get scoped. The dynamic scope this week. That's a long process. Alibaba was good. AC Swansk was sick. I think they said they scoped her. She was sick, didn't they? Well, either way, she was sick. Yes, Amy told me she was very sick, had lots of mucus, lots of redness in her airway. Correct. So she's going to have a week off, tons of time with her. Everybody else kind of did their work well. I did report yesterday that Seasons of Love was fine, and then today she was sore again. So I think there's 2 things going on. We had her x-rayed, nothing with no lines, no cracks, but they said that the axis of the ankle to pastern was a little off, and she needs to be stood up. Needs to have her angle stood up. So I believe what happened yesterday, the blacksmith shot her, chopped all her toes off. She got a little sore on her feet. She never noticed until after she jogged. She jogged fine. I thought she was 95% yesterday. Got a text message say Seasons of Love is lame. I believe there's 2 things at play. 1, still that pastern, but today it was mostly just a foot from the shoeing. So the vet's belief, Dr. Bosenjack believes she's got really brittle, really shelly feet. Low bloodline, so sore feet. So what we're going to do is actually glue the shoes on. You haven't done this in a long time. We're going to put Equilocks around the foot and actually nail through the Equilocks, not the foot at all. Haven't done this in a long time. Preston, our blacksmith, very good blacksmith, says he can do it. So we're going to build her feet up. Now, the vet wasn't comfortable in saying that the mushroom shoes we have on her, it would be beneficial to her particular issue. Okay, so now where do we go? Do we put the flip-flops back on? It's possible. Do we just... No, you know what we're going to do? I can tell you right now what we're going to do. We're going to put a trotting shoe on her and that aluminum plate underneath. I'm going to ask him to glue that aluminum plate underneath. Then we'll nail through the plate and the Equilocks. That's exactly what we are going to do. So that's the plan for... You're seeing how I operate in real time. So that is what we're going to do for Seasons of Love. I know that... I apologize. I know Peggy was asking, and Mary and Jerry saw that she was lame. She did jog sound yesterday, but then they went to jog her tail and said she was lame. The vacuum in X-rayer found nothing. But from that negative X-ray, a bit of a hypothesis was formed. One, it couldn't be a line forming because she would have been lame the day I jogged her. She was not. So that's out. Secondly, what would change from one day to the next? And there's only one thing that changed, was Preston shot her. Probably just really sore in her feet. So we will build her foot up. I'm going to call Preston when I'm done this. Build her feet up. Put that aluminum circuit plate underneath. And then just a trotting shoe over top. We can go back to a 5/8 or a trotting full switch. Either one will do. So that's where we're at with the horses in Ontario. My prediction, qualifying soon in Ontario. Insider trading will school this week. Mounts for All will school next week. Ready for Landing Mike school every week. I don't know until he was actually good behind the gate though. So I think he's a lot closer than I thought, but still not any more closer to being a super effective stake horse. No, I don't believe so. But he's close to being a racehorse. He's close to being a horse that races. Just needs to learn. But I was impressed with him at Grand River the other day. Pitched the thing with James. James is never going to get along with this horse, or not for a while yet. So you can pitch that right out. I know the horse better. Mick Paisley will be ready to go when all the Ontario ones will. Punch the clock after July. It said to you guys, we're just going to drag our feet a little bit from here on in. Same with Widespread Panic. Don't talk about Bruno. Be ready a little bit later on. He missed this week because he was sore where he had that little surface infection. He'll be fine. Rito's Lady's in the field as I predicted the other day. This was by design. She was as sound today as she was a month before that. Perfectly fine. This was completely by design. She's gone to the field to grow up. Flash Fly will be ready to go. She's going to school this week and qualify next week likely, as will Insider Trading. Potentially ready for landing, but I wouldn't get your hopes up just yet. Drebin, probably closer to July. I know somebody said, when will he be in New Jersey? Never. Or not for a while. Anyway, he's not going to New Jersey, Cyrus. We're probably going to keep Drebin here and race him in the what do they call that thing? The Millard Trotting Series in July, and then we're going to ease him into his stake schedules. Lots of stakes for Drebin. First and foremost is the health and safety of Drebin. I want to make sure his knees are in the red line, right? We're managing them. They are being managed right now, and I want to keep them getting better and better and better and better and better until that comfort line grows down to normal and the horse is ready to really rock. And along that time, if we can teach him to be a racehorse and we can race him along the way, keep him tight, sharp, and growing, both speed-wise and strength-wise, I think come the fall we're going to see a really, really good horse. The name of the game with Drebin is going to be management for this summer. So keep that in mind. Lonely Lakewood will school on Friday, and we'll have him ready to go first part of July, same as everybody else in Pennsylvania. George of the Jungle, a little bit behind, but he'll be ready probably towards the end of June. We'll be ready to qualify him. Seasons of Love, just let us work on her. I know Mary and Jerry and Peggy, you're going to hear this and be very upset. Just relax. There's nothing seriously wrong, and she has had her moments throughout her career training down where she has come up lame and come up sore, but she always bounced back. We were always able to manage her. Now that we know exactly what is going on, just relax. We'll have her ready to go end of June. If everything stays as it is today, she will be ready to go end of June. 2.8 last half a minute at Grand River. She's ready to go now. It should be ready for the end of June. Alibaba and AC Swan, they'll be ready also end of June. So, and the Pacers say Amy said the Pacers went well. Some of them are going to have that dynamic scope this week. Time is on my side was the fifth horse. I'm going to talk to James. I believe he should go to Mohawk on Friday. If James would rather wait a week, then we will. He was the fifth horse. We'll see how that plays out here. We'll see how that plays out here this weekend. So, there. What else do we have here? Now we're going to get to the sets today. We had 2 sets, just 2, because we had such a ton of horses schooling. 2 sets of 6 that trained. We trained them a mile and a half. First half in 125 and 126 in the 2 sets. A mile in 210 and a mile in 212. That is a lot of work, and that is hard to do. Irresistible Sun was great. Sweeney was great. Venice Blue Chip. Both sets were good. The only horse that made a break at all was Chirahola, and the second one we went out and trained her in 2:10 after. So she got plenty of a workout today. I actually won both sets. Oh no, I didn't. First set, Jason McGinnis, Gypsy Hill came screaming through. I think today it's official. Gypsy Hill is going to be our horse in the next generation. He just looked incredible today. Very, very professional looking. Venice Blue Chip was right there. She was awesome too. Man, she was really good. So we had Gypsy Hill and Venice Blue Chip together. Sweeney was there. I think Mel Gibbswan might have got by me. Prince Charm was behind me. Irresistible Sun. There was a group, those two kind of broke away at the wire by a few lengths, and then all of us were right there together. I went a mile in 2:10 and 2:11 with Sweeney. He was very, very good. Really happy with that entire set. Second set, as I said, the only miscue was Chirahola sitting behind me. She's just, I said to Jason, she can't miss training. She's too lanky, tall, and frail at this point. She's putting good weight on, but still hasn't put all that muscle on. I said she can't miss a training day. Out she goes in the race bike. And Jason trained her in 2:11, 2:10 or something. But the set itself was great. Sedona Hill jogged. She was unbelievable. Activation, Jason said Purple People Eater came from last to be second in a photo, he said, with Activation. Levesque in Action was a little bit behind with Sunset Acres Girl. They went miles in 2:13. Daryl said the hobbles were a little long on her. I know Daryl's trying to let the hobbles out. She's not wearing loose hobbles in any way, shape, or form. They're going to be plenty snug all summer long with Sunset Acres Girl. And she was fine. Philly's fine. I do want to change the shoes on her, though, up front. I want to put the mushrooms on her. I just don't think you're going to get a hold of those plow tracks in Michigan, those fair tracks with flip-flops on. And I know it was funny, I talked to Donnie Harmon about this a couple of weeks ago. He said, maybe they just need a normal shoe. Yeah, but her feet do bother her. She doesn't need weight, so we'll probably go to a 5/8 mushroom bar. Maybe if we're lucky. Who are we taking the mushrooms off here? No, that filly's feet are way too small. So he's going to have to make some up for her. So Sunset Acres Girl was good. Purple People Eater was good. And closing in, but Sedona Hill was all power today. She is going to be our horse heading to the next generation also. So I guess for today, 3 of the horses are locked in from where I stand, a month out from the next generation. Sedona Hill, I believe. Now, Purple People Eater's got 3 weeks to pick it up. But as of right now, Sedona Hill, Gypsy Hill, Venice Blue Chip, and Born to Dance. Now, the only concern I have with Born to Dance, is he good enough? I think he is, but we're going to see soon enough. So, Born to Dance will be the only question mark heading it from right now, heading to the next generation. But that entire set was great also. Really happy. Most importantly, no mucus, no blood found today, and everybody except for one horse, and that was Royal Emeralds. We'll talk about her in a minute. She was unbelievable today, so I'm shocked that she had any mucus in her. So we went behind the gate, school. That school don't care. 2.5 last half in a minute. Still running in, touching that knee. We're still going to make a few little adjustments that will help her. I think that will be completely fixed by next week. Antilles Hanover, 2.5 last half in a minute. He was great. Paycheck Princess, 2, 3, and 4. 2-4 last half. 58 apiece, 59. She was very strong. Jason Merriman went with her, said she was great. Vaquero Blue Chip was second to me. He went a mile in 2.4. We'll talk about the horse that won that set in a minute. Vaquero Blue Chip, 2.4 last half in a minute. Affection was amazing today. So we were in a big schooler, and there was people kind of stuck in the way, and I kind of moved. I just kind of moved Nick Clegg over in the first turn, and I think Affection got stuck in that group and finally shook loose around the last turn. Logan Ebersol went with her. He said, oh my God. He said 2.5 last half, and Anthony was 57 and 3. He said, I'm telling you it was. I said, I believe you, because I know I came a half in 58 flat, and you were gaining on me. And I'm talking about pull the shoes. I cleared to the front, half in 103, a mile in 2-1 and 1 last half, 58 and 1 last quarter, and 28 seconds flat. She was awesome today. Affection was closing in. From where I looked at the head of lane to where I looked at the wire, a very, very good mile from both Pull the Shoes and Affection. And Vaquero Blue Chip was the other horse in there. Now, the last set went out. Memory and Imagination took the lead. I didn't know how he'd be in the front. Logan Ebersol put him on the front. Half in 105, a mile in 203 and 4. 203 and 3. And him and This is why it was so shocking. Him and Royal Emeralds were together right at the wire. She was closing in and might have beat him. I couldn't tell from my vantage point. I was 2 lengths back with Southwind Digit, who I thought was good. She might have peed a little, but I think she was just horsing a little bit. But I thought it was a good mile for Southwind Digit, an amazing mile for Memory and Imagination and Royal Emeralds. They were unbelievably good. And then right beside me was Victory Blue Chip. He was good too, right behind me. So he went a mile in 2:4 and a piece, 2:5. I went a mile in 2:4. The other two went a mile in 2:3 and a piece. Very, very good. Now, qualifying tomorrow, we have Arson, Pickpocket, Militant, Born to Dance, and I'm Fancy Like. All 5 of them will qualify tomorrow. Schooling tomorrow will be Blanton's Blue. Just need some gate work. We didn't want to, Jason trained him a slow mile Tuesday. Didn't want to go back with the gate work day. We had a ton of horses going behind the gate. So he said, can you just school them after the qualifiers? I said, yeah, I got nothing else to do. No problem. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So there's a list of everything that is going on right now. Who's heading to the field, who might be injured, who might be a little bit late to the party, mid-July-ish or even late July or later in some cases. All the horses that are ready to go, how much they've been, where they're sitting at. I can tell you one thing. That was a good group of horses. Not one schooler went behind the gate and did anything but their very best today. Not one. And we had 12, 11, 4, 5, 11. We had 11 schoolers today, and every single one of them were awesome. Qualifiers tomorrow, you guys will get to see if you tune in. I think for those of you who don't know, if you go to YouTube, the YouTube channel for Northfield Park, I believe, streams the qualifiers. You'll be able to see the babies qualify tomorrow. Looking for a pretty strong qualifier from Arson and Pickpocket. They don't have to go fast. I think Arson 58, 59, 2 minutes. Pickpocket 2-1, 2-2 will be plenty for those two. And then they'll be heading to Kentucky around the 9th for the 12th and 13th stake races. The other ones might come back next week, and they may not. Depends on what they, how they look and what they do. So with that, 26 minutes. Not bad. I am now going to go have a nap because I suspect I'm going to get tired. Anyway, I will talk to you all very soon. I hope you had a great day because it was a very good day here. Pretty good day in Ontario. Looks like things are coming along very, very nicely. From what I see, we should have 40 to 45 horses qualified by mid to end June. And we'll have another 10 probably qualified throughout the month of July into August. So that's where we sit right now with a number starting of 60, I believe. Not too bad. The only ones I see maybe 4 or 5 that likely won't make it till the end of the year at the very earliest. So with that, I'll let you go. Take care. Good luck to everybody racing tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Good luck to Mo Power Babies group. She looks like she's in a very, very juicy spot tonight. Take care.